Here are the sunflowers that I'll be sowing. This is a yellow dwarf variety, and this is another dwarf variety which are mixed. Then we've got the giant single, which I'll be also sowing, and then there's this one here which is called, you'll see it, you've probably seen it in some of my previous videos, and also on the thumbnail are all the varieties that I've sown and I will be sowing again this year. But this one is called Helianthus Evening Sun, and it is a beautiful red, rich red sunflower. And this cob of sweet corn I'll be sowing as well, so I'll be taking out these seeds and sowing them in quite tall cups so that we can get some nice strong roots forming, and then we'll get them ready to be planted out onto our allotment plot. So it's a wet one today and I'm over at the plot. I've literally just come to water the seedlings and what's in the greenhouse and have a look around and see what's going on. So I'll show you a few things that I've spotted. So although you can't see it on camera much, but it's quite wet on the plot. I've just put some of my seedlings out just to get a bit of rain. I've just come to water what's in the greenhouse and see how everything's going. It's quite a grey and wet day today, but everything seems to be fine. I picked some of these strawberries that I need to also plant out, so that's another job for the weekend. Got loads of strawberries here. These are all ones they had their first year last year. They're a variety called Cambridge Favourite, and honestly I really recommend them. I think I saw it on Hugh Richards' channel, and maybe also Liz Zorab mentioned it as well, that they're a really popular variety of strawberry. It's called Cambridge Favourite. And yeah, I had a really good year last year, even though it was their first crop, so this year should be good. So I've got loads of runners of those to also plant out, which I'll be doing on the weekend. And other than that, there's not much else that's been going on. So I came in here to water what's in the greenhouse. And also what I did was, I found this little bit of plank of wood, and I decided that I can hang my tools off it. So I need to give this a bit of a clean, but yeah, that's worked out, so I can pop that in my shed and it'll be really handy for my tools, because whenever I need them I can never find them, so that'll be quite handy to hang in my shed. Other than that, all the tomato seedlings and the beetroots, and got some mustard there which probably needs to be planted out, but yeah, things are looking good in here. And also the sweet peas that me and Rayan sowed the other day, they are also, look, you can see the roots going all the way to the bottom. That's crazy. They're also going to make an appearance soon, and that is brilliant. I'm really impressed with that. So these tall cups have proved really, really useful. What I'm also going to do, because I've got quite a few of these cups at home, is sow my sunflowers, and that's what the title is of this particular episode. It's going to be called Sunflowers and Sweet Corn. Not recommending that we plant them both together. I'm just sowing them both at the moment because they usually grow at the same time of year, but a good advice from my friend Nick the gardener, who really recommended, yeah, and I do agree with that advice, that don't plant your sunflowers near your veg or in your veg beds or near your fruit, because they do take a lot out of the soil. They take all the moisture out of the soil and all the goodness, and yeah, plants will struggle. So always plant your sunflowers, give them their own space basically, and they'll do really well, and you'll get good results hopefully. So I'll show you the variety of sunflowers that I'll be sowing, but also I said the word sweet corn, and let me show you something. My kind plot neighbour last year, who literally is in the plot just opposite me over there where you can see the orange netting, that's her plot. It's a really big plot. So last year, my lovely plot neighbour Elena, who's just the plot opposite me now, she used to be I used to be on the other side of the allotment before, but now we're neighbours because I've moved here onto this plot. Now Elena last year had some amazing sweet corn, and I was admiring her sweet corn, saying that is amazing, because they were like skyscrapers. They were huge, and she had a really good yield off them as well. And so I asked Elena, I was like, Elena, that sweet corn looks amazing. Where did you get it from? And she was like, leave it with me. Next year, I'm going to give you some of it. And she sure did. So she's given me this dry cob full of seeds. So I'm now going to sow this. And so thank you so much, Elena. I'm going to sow this and I'm going to see how they germinate. And if they do really well, then I'm definitely getting them on my plot this year. I'll see how this goes. If this goes really well and germinates really well, then I'll probably stick with this variety. I need to find out the name from Elena, but honestly, I just have to tell you, I mean, just look at that. Just look at that, full. And they were brilliant. So hopefully we'll see how these go. But if these don't do well once I've planted them out onto the allotment plot, then I'll probably get some more early bird and have them as like an insurance policy. That's what I do a lot, to be honest. You'll hear me say that a lot this year. Even when I plant out my sweet peas and when I plant out my beans, I'm also planting some as an insurance policy or direct sowing some in the same bed so that they come up as well in succession, but also just in case things don't work out. These are the tulips that survived, the ones that we kept in the greenhouse. So they're doing quite well. And over here, the alliums that I've sown they seem to be doing okay. So yeah, maybe we're going to get some flowers here. What I'm also planning to do in this bed is to sow lots of colour. But just lots of cottage style planting in here. Some foxgloves, verbena, verbascum as well, love that. So some nice towers, maybe getting a bit of some lupins if I can. So lots of cottage style planting in this bed, just to, yeah, it'll be really nice as a statement. It'll be really nice to have that on this side. So here's our first rhubarb harvest of the season. It definitely looks ready because look, just having a look, a nice big stem there, got some stems. Yep, definitely long enough to harvest. So let's harvest a few of these. Right, so I'm just going to harvest some rhubarb. Just go down to the bottom of the plant. Just give it a little pull. Look at that.
Whoa.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take too many this time. This is just the first harvest. And gently, that's another long one, gently just going to harvest these.
I haven't had rhubarb yet. I've had it in like yogurts and things.
Yeah.
I've never had it like plain.
We're going to have some in the next few days. We'll cook this.
You have to cook it.
Yeah. Going to take too much yet, and I'm only going to do this plant, although this plant is ready as well. I'm just going to just take a few of this one. Just having a look at what else I can.
Let's have a look at the rhubarb. Why is rhubarb so red?
So for today, I'm just going to pick these.
It's a bit pink at the bottom.
So we've just harvested our first bit of rhubarb, and I must admit this particular variety is really fragrant. I can smell it. It's got a really strong rhubarb smell, which I'm really looking forward to stewing this in a bit of sugar with some Greek yogurt, and we're going to have that tonight.
Yes. I can't.
Now before I head off, I want to show you the coriander that I sowed the coriander seeds because I can see some making an appearance. So let me show you them. So here are the coriander seeds that we sowed. I don't know if you can see the pattern, but it was using the muffin tins. And yep, they are sure all starting to germinate now. We've had lots of wet weather this year. Look, you can see lots here as well. So yeah, hopefully not long until these start taking off. But yeah, that's the coriander seeds germinating and starting to make an appearance. Look, you see them all over here as well. That's brilliant. They do look like, I mean, you can sort of see it here, where you can sort of see where the muffin tin indentations were, and they literally have sown in small bunches. So really impressed with that.